Okay, next up, we have the feature I might be the most excited for. This would be our newsletter feature. So right now with our newsletters, in our contacts tab and within Game Day, you can create newsletters basically from scratch. So it's just a text box, or you can email out a group of headlines. With this new newsletter option, it's going to give you a ton of options, make it super easy, and it's going to look really great. You can use this for like your weekly emails if you send out, a recap of the weekend every week, or it'll be really great for special events. You'll be able to, as I'll show you in a moment, we have different templates you'll be able to use. You can really give each different newsletter a different look. So it'll be really great for highlighting those special events, making something look just a little more special or stand out from the rest of your standard newsletters. Another great thing about this is, you'll be able to include those videos directly in your emails. So right now it's not a feature we have, but you'll see there's a section to put a video directly in the body of that email. And then as well, these are also responsive. So it'll look really great on all devices, whether your fans are viewing on mobile, tablet, desktop, it'll look really great. So this is still in our early phases of development. So I just have a couple demos to show you, but this will live within your admin. So similar to how you go to create a newsletter now, you would go in your contacts tab and be able to create this. So when you first get in there, you'll be able to choose from a list of pre-existing templates. So we're designing templates that will tailor to your needs, basically. So we know, what sports info needs in mind, having the ability to put in the headlines. Videos are really important. We could even, pull in some stuff from your schedules. So we'll have those preset templates for you. But what's really cool about this is you'll be able to customize those based on your specific needs. So for example, this is just a little template I have set up. You can see as I mouse over this, there's a bunch of different things will be highlighted. So these are all the different elements you can add and edit throughout the whole newsletter. So if I scroll down, you'll see a couple different layouts, and each individual element, whether it be text or the icons or the images, you can come in here and customize. So there's two ways to customize this. The first would be our rows. So if I come over here to the right side panel, you're going to see all the different row options. So you'll see a different layout, which is just a drag and drop. So if I like this, 2-column feature, I can just drag it to the order I want, and it'll drop right in there. So you can play around with adding different rows, but then you can also further customize it with different content. So for example, maybe these two elements seem to be running together a little bit, so I can just drop in a little divider. And that'll just kind of help separate it. Maybe I, don't want this image here. You can easily click on it and delete it. So, there's really endless options here. As I click on each element, you can also further customize it with colors, different images, different text, different padding. So for example, maybe this video section, I would like to change the background color. So let's go ahead and change it to a red. And then maybe I just want a little bit more padding. So as I'm coming down here, you can just play around with all the different options. So as I adjust the padding, you can see it just adjusts right here in real time. So tons of options here. And it's just really cool. There's a background image here behind this header. So right now it's just pulling in just like the standard texture just to show you what it looks like. But you can go ahead and change the image here. And we're gonna have a stock of free images, but then you can also import your own. So here you can see, I have a handful of just standard images that I wanna use. So you can either come here to your library, check out what you've used in the past. Maybe there's a specific header graphic you wanna use, or maybe there's a cool texture. You can choose from that, or you can go ahead and upload your own directly from your computer, and that will save here in your logo library. So from here, you can go ahead and build your content, lay out how you like, but then you can come here and actually edit your content. So a lot of this stuff right now, like I said, it's early phases of development, but you'll see a lot of it is just basically static or custom text, custom images. So you can come in here and change this out, play around with the fonts, play around with the size, color, all that good stuff. But then what we're going to do is there's also going to be the ability to have dynamic content. So basically pulling that content from your website. So if there's a video that you already have featured to your main story rotator, you can go ahead and just grab that video from your website. Or maybe down here, you want to show your top 4 headlines. You'd be able to just basically choose that headlines from that that story from that specific headlines file. So you don't have to create everything from scratch. There will be, that nice balance of, that custom content versus the dynamic that you already have added and uploaded on your website. Another cool feature about these templates. So like I said before, we'll have that predetermined list, but you can also make tweaks to this. So maybe in that one template, you just really don't like the videos. So let's just go ahead and get rid of videos. You will be able to save this template once you kind of tweak it to what you want, so that you can use it again in the future. So you won't have to come in here and make these changes every single time. We'll give you the ability to make your own templates off of our standard options. If you're really creative and you really love this kind of thing, you don't even need to start with one of our templates either. You will have the ability to create this from scratch. So you can come in here and just completely do whatever you want, whatever looks cool, whatever suits your needs at the time. You will need to use these default layouts, but it gives you a lot of options. So you can really have an endless combination of content and layouts. So once you kind of play around with this a little bit more, here's like a quick test I had set up just to give you an idea of what this could look like once you put in your content, put in your colors, all the images and stuff. So as you scroll down, this would be an example of just some custom text and background image that I put in. Bobcat News. This could be that dynamic information I was talking about. So this could all pull from your headlines featured, so that story rotator on your homepage. As you scroll down, I've got my nice video that will play beautifully once I send the email. And then you can just, include your social media and just some other basic information. Another option we have is the ability to preview this and send some text. So before you send this out, you want to see what it looks like. And as I said before, it is responsive. So you will be able to, see what this looks like on mobile right here. So earlier when I was working on this, I had my Ohio Bobcat Club text. It was pretty large on the desktop view. But when I came over here to mobile, Bobcat was getting pushed to two different rows. So it didn't look super great on mobile. So this is a really great way to make sure it's looking good. On Google Analytics, you'll see that a lot of traffic is coming from mobile. So you want to make sure that it looks good on all devices in all formats. So as you scroll down, you can just see exactly what everything will look like. You'll see how I go from a 2-column layout to the 1-column, and just how everything kind of resizes nicely and just looks really great. So you got your desktop here as well, so you can make sure it's also looking good on the desktop version. So once you have your preview, you can also come over here and send a test. So this will remember whoever you've sent a test to in the past, which is really great. And you can just email out to whoever you need. So if you have multiple people you need to email, just separate that by a comma, and then we can get that sent out. And if you come over here to my email sample, it should look just like the preview, but you can see what it would look like in my Gmail. So it's a really cool feature, and I'm really excited about this. And I think it'll give you guys a lot of options and just really enhance your communication with your fans. Okay, so Anne-Marie, do we have any questions about newsletter?
We do not. John Vogel had asked if down the road this is something that would maybe be available on actual web pages, being able to customize. I think everyone would, if they follow the themes section coming up, eventually we will have that capability for our clients to be able to hide and show and move and include features on their site. So a lot of flexibility coming down the road.
Awesome. And sorry, one other thing I didn't mention about this too is a lot of the functionality that you have now within your contacts tab will still be available. So, the whole list feature with your contacts, you'll still be able to send these out to your predetermined lists. And then we'll still have the scheduling options as well. So you can, not only can you send a test just to, make sure it's all working correctly, but you can also schedule those emails for your future date and time, or just send it out immediately to all of your contacts or whichever specified contacts you want.
Another question came through. How are email contacts uploaded and what does the distribution method look like?
Yeah, so right now, this is just a demo, so we don't have this to show yet integrated into a website, but I can show you how the contacts and lists are generated. So just logging into one of our demo sites, we have our contacts tab right here. So first thing you'll want to do is come in and create your list. So up at the top, we have the list link here, but then we also have lists listed down here. So you'll see that I currently have 3 email lists. To add a new one, you'll see here, there's a couple options. Let me point out first. All sports, and it's a public list. So basically, if you have a public list, it's going to show on your list sign up page, versus a private list is only going to be used for your internal use. So a lot of private lists are used just for maybe like media communications. You don't want anyone just signing up for your media list. Or, for example, awards use private lists all the time. So you'll see here I have a list for our volleyball voters and our volleyball nominators. So when you create this, you want to make sure these are public in most cases. But our list sign up page, let me open a new tab. If you guys aren't taking advantage of this yet, it is a really great feature. Basically, you can just link to this page and it'll allow your fans to sign up for whatever type of newsletters that they want. So right now I only have one public list, which is all sports. But if I want to make a new list and just allow people to sign up for volleyball, I can go ahead and name my list volleyball, make it public, and then I can click add. So once that list is here and it's marked as public, I'll come over here and refresh my list sign up page, excuse me, and you'll see this volleyball option right here. So what your fans would do is they would come over here, enter their email address, and then choose whichever list they want to be notified for. So we always suggest make a different list for each sport, or maybe you have summer camps that you have registration through your website through Presto Camps, and you want people to sign up for your camp list, and you can notify them once registration opens. You can kind of play around with those different list types. So key is just making sure that's a public list in here. So you can either just add your list and leave it open for the public, but you can also come over here to contacts, and you can import contacts that you already have. So for example, if you had summer camp last year, or maybe you have your list of volleyball contacts, just click import contacts over here. And here you will just paste in all the information for each contact. So right now, this is a demo site. I only have email address set up as the field to collect. But for most sites, you'll have first name, last name, you can do address, much more detailed information about each contact. So if you have that, you'll just paste all that in. So for example, let's do web@prestosports.com. Choose which list you want to add them to, and then go ahead and import. And this will just give you a quick preview of duplicates and any new emails. So right now, web@prestosports already exists on my website, but that's okay. Go ahead and import it anyway. And what that's going to do is it's going to add the duplicate to my, my 2 lists. So it's just kind of giving you just a brief overview. If you have an invalid email, it'll tell you right here as well. So once I hit import, those lists with that contact would then be added to my list. And when I click back over here to lists, I'll now see that my new volleyball email list has 1 contact here. So again, this new newsletter isn't set up in our admin for you guys to see yet, but basically when you go to send an email, this is our current platform, you will have the ability to select an email list when sending out your newsletters. So if I view my contact list, let's say I want to send it out to just my volleyball people, check the box and hit OK. So with you can either choose a list or just add individual contacts. So if I forget to add Katie Butts to my volleyball list, I can also just come in here and add her to my email as like a single contact. So this process will be very similar with our new newsletter option, as well as I mentioned before, scheduling those emails to go out at a future date and time. So you can, it will default to sending immediately, but you'll be able to choose on a specific date and then set that time.
Katie, the question is, what's the cost on the enhanced newsletter? I can speak on that. We do plan to include it in the Pro and Premium website packages. We really have not discussed a price point yet. If you wanted to include it as an add-on, if you were not in one of those packages, but we certainly will share more information as Katie showed. It's really in its infancy stages, and as we move forward, we'll share all that information.